to ensure this process not just got off the ground, but is set up good for the next couple of generations.
Yeah. I moved here a couple of years ago. I'm a Tupeloan now. Shout out all to my friends and family here. We're just having a good time, and we're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, so we're glad to see it. So you ready, Trip? Ready to show us around outside?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So again, we're kind of outside here. It does look like I might have chroma key on this as well. So occasionally something green might turn clear, but that's okay. Won't worry about that. Not something we typically kind of do out here like this. But so this location, again, it is still closed to the public, correct?
That is correct. Closed to the public. We are looking at opening the first part of the facility, which includes the 10,000 square foot exhibit hall, multi-purpose room, lobby atrium, gift shop, and art gallery in November of next year.
Okay. And I'll warn Gabe back there in the studio, this is probably going to kick off of Wi-Fi at some point here, so we might have a little jump as we kind of get over here into, we're going to do some of this from the shade so my phone doesn't overheat too badly. So, I mean, this obviously is a very exciting time because I was out here as you guys did. It's locked up on us. There we go. I think we've probably kicked off the Wi-Fi there. So how long ago was the groundbreaking?
It was June of last year.
I can't believe that.
And so after groundbreaking, there was a bit of a lull on the site, and then we had over 30 acres cleared. And then by the end of last year, we had started preparing the pad, the building pad, and they had cleared for the parking lot, which we'll see in a second. But really, it's been in the last, Brad, what do you say, last month and a half? Last month and a half that we've really seen considerable work on site with pouring of the portions of the concrete pad and going vertical with structural steel.
Okay, so with that in mind, we're ready to show it off?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, well we'll put it behind us here, and so I'm gonna have to still kind of have it on this perspective as we walk around. So we'll follow behind you like this. So yeah, I mean it's a real thing now. It's not just this thing that's been talked about for years and years and years. It's actually happening, isn't it?
Exactly. Back in 1980, there was a lot of discussion about the development of a Chickasaw museum, and that kind of flowed out. And then back in 1990, there was another push for a Chickasaw Heritage Museum. And then back in the early 2000s, there was a push for one. But finally, around 2015 is when we really got real serious, and we started a lot of architectural development with Ely Guild Hardy architects, and had the cultural resource management work done at the site, and then went straight into design.
So I again, if you're not here, it might be hard to see the perspective on this. This is not a small facility, is it?
No, and this is only phase one. So this is really just a little bit more than half of what it's going to be. Looking out over this way now, and I'll let Brad talk a little bit about the office space in a second. But let's flip around back this way.
Okay. Yeah. See, I know the construction guy's going to love us walking backward through a site. That's perfectly.
And so, what we're looking at right now is part of the exhibit hall where the main entrance is going to be, and then the offices is going to be over here. And like I said, I'll let Brad talk about that in just a second. But the main exhibit hall is just this whole area right here. And when they first poured the concrete and had it outlined, I was worried. Is this going to be big enough? This isn't going to be that big. And they told me, just wait until we construct the facility, and it'll look really big. And they weren't kidding. I mean, it was quite large.
Yeah, it does look quite large.
We're very excited about it. The Chickasaw Heritage Center is really going to be much more than a destination location for cultural heritage tourism. It is truly going to be an anchor for the community and the region here, because not only are we going to have the 10,000 square foot exhibit space, the art gallery, the multi-purpose room for programming, but a full cafe and a full theater once we're finished, a reconstructed Chickasaw Village out in the Blackland Prairie, a large playground, and an athletic field with trails that go completely across the site. And so families will be able to come here on Saturdays. Access to the site is free, and you'll just pay for the exhibit hall. And often we'll have different types of programming going on, and lots of other different kinds of activities. So
one of my neighbors at a previous neighborhood I lived with was from Oklahoma, and he talked about the center that's there, and just how incredible it was. And so he's one of the people got me so excited in the beginning. He's like, you have to understand, this is a huge deal. Let's kind of walk in here a little bit. Is that okay? I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, we go straight through this.
Okay. Yeah, and go ahead. You can keep talking while we're going this way.
I was going to say, Brad Duramus was, he had 25 years with Chickasaw Nation and was actually the director of operations at the Chickasaw Cultural Center in Oklahoma. And so he's bringing a lot of experience and a lot of the Chickasaw work culture here for us.
Okay. Well, let's chase down Brad. Brad's running over there.
Brad.
We're gonna chase him down. So again, this is
my office.
Hey, the fact you even have any kind of furniture in your office. Mind if we sit on the other side so we face with all the rest of it behind us?
Sure.
Okay. So again, this has been a dream of not just yours, not just Brady's, but the Chickasaw people and many in the community for decades, and it's big.
Yeah, this is our historic homeland, and we're just rekindling old unions with people. We're making new friends, making a lot of friends, and invite people to come be a part of this journey with us. That's really what we're talking about. Like I said, this is my office right here that we're sitting in. This is the early form of a desk here, but you can just picture, like Brady said, phase 2 is next. That's this area right here where the construction is. Then over there in the grass, that's going to be a 1 acre to 2 acre playground. And then further along the tree line, that's going to be a stickball field going east to west over there. So it's a family-friendly atmosphere here. We want people to come and just be a part of it with us, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of an incredible opportunity to have something like this in North Mississippi. It just for the region, this will draw folks that, cultural tourism is becoming such a huge thing. I mean, it's going to draw folks from states away.
Yeah. If you want to be a part of it, I think Tripp's going to be here at 2 a.m. pouring more concrete here in the morning.
Don't invite people might show up. You never know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you mentioned phase 2, that direction there, and this isn't meant to be necessarily a fundraising plea, but if folks are interested, a large portion of the funds for phase 1, obviously both private as well as the Chickasaw Nation really stepping up on that, as well as the state of Mississippi, kind of all coming together for that. How can they help out?
Well, they can go to our website or contact us, call our main number there at the Chickasaw and Kana Foundation. Like us on Facebook. Everything, a little bit helps. Like something, share it. That gets the word out. We're having our gala in November. We're accepting tickets for that. Every bit of that goes to help building this.
The thing is that people sometimes think of history in a segmented way, but every single step that we take around the Tupelo area was walked for a very long period of time by Chickasaw people before we were ever here. So their history is our history.
Our village is right across that tree line where people lived 250 years ago. That's where the Chickasaw village is on the trace.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be. There hasn't been, when we first moved here and we went to the Chickasaw Village site, we're like, okay, that's interesting, but you're like, I expected, a little bit more. This is the more.
So we learned from this, we learned from the footprints over there. And what's interesting is we built the winter house and summer house in Oklahoma based off of that footprint. Well, we're taking the structural aspect and bringing it back here. So it's coming full circle because we're going to have a replicated village right here on the other side of these trees.
Which is why, the campaign has been called Journey Home.
Journey Home.
The whole idea that this is the return to the homeland that is so important to the Chickasaw people.
Absolutely.
So you mind if we walk that way a little bit more? I mean, granted, listen, it's largely just concrete and metal at this point, but I think it's important to try to visualize this because, I mean, it has become a reality and it's been a lot of work. Tripp, you've had crews out here, dare I say, day and night, especially this time of year, trying to make sure that you can get it out as opposed to having everybody in heat of the day.
Yeah, it's been mostly during the day. We've had some early morning concrete pours, but for the most part, we just appreciate everybody that's been out here working with us, all our trade partners and the design team working hand in hand on this thing, just trying to get out of the ground. It's always a struggle, but then once you do and you start going vertical, you really start to see the fruits of all the labor up to that point.
I'm going to watch my head here and not get decapitated by that. Again, this is a construction site, and I want to remind folks this is a closed construction site. That's part of the reason we're doing this tour, because we know there's been a lot of buzz and a lot of interest here. You know, I think one thing that I don't want to get missed, and you mentioned it, kind of look at that shot, this is some of the most beautiful area that we have, about as pristine and untouched as you get in North Mississippi in this area. Is that a fair statement?
Brady mentioned a while ago a multi-purpose room. We're standing right in it.
Okay.
And the art gallery is going to be right here. Can you just picture it? We'll have the pillars here. They'll be part of our main lobby atrium. And Tripp can testify to this, that each column takes one floor of concrete truck.
And if I got closer, and again, there's giant holes in the ground next to it, so I can't get too close. You would get a size. You get an idea on the size. They are not small columns there.
They're 30 feet tall.
30 feet tall. You know, this located, and I guess we should clarify that again. There's going to be you know, two entrances from this. One of the things that's unique about this, you know, there's not really any additional access coming in from the Natchez Trace anywhere. That is something that you guys obviously were granted, you know, access for folks to come in from I-22 on the Natchez Trace. There's also the entrance kind of from the backside as well.
Correct.
So a couple of good ways to get in.
In 2016, there was an MOU signed between the Encana Foundation, Chickasaw Nation, the City of Tupelo, and the Department of the Interior. And part of that was granting us access off the Natchez Trace Parkway. And so one of the final pieces of our puzzle here before we open is finalizing that access point. Now, the rear entrance right now, which is the construction entrance, of course, staff, things like that. But all visitors will come in right off the Natchez Trace, which is unique. Like you were taught, people would be coming here. And our early estimates are upwards of 100 visitors. Not how many are phase 2 is completed, but definitely
A lot of tours. There are options for that around here, but you will have the facilities to host those.
Absolutely. And so, you know, with 160 acres here, there's a lot.
Matt, we may have lost connection.
A moment. There we are.
we go.
We're back. So yeah, you gotta give me a second there. Occasionally, if that happens, we'll just hit refresh and we'll come back to it. So like you mentioned, 160 acres.
Yes.
You know, in the heart of a city with access so close to a major, you know, a couple major thoroughfares, it is kind of a perfect location for what will be, to a certain extent, a cultural hub for the area.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Tupelo being the largest city in Northeast Mississippi and really the economic hub, being able to bring more people into this area and spend more time and take advantage of everything that Tupelo and Northeast Mississippi has to offer is something that we're really excited about. And you know, just the idea of the Chickasaw Heritage Center, you know, like I said earlier, being an anchor for the community and an anchor for cultural heritage tourism. You know, Mississippi's history and culture is phenomenal. You know, we have first American history and culture. We have Civil War, civil rights, rock and roll, the blues, and often that first American piece is overlooked. And so, you know, this will be the largest facility of its kind in the region. And so in a center dedicated to telling Chickasaw history and culture from the Chickasaw perspective. But, you know, one of the other neat things about this center is when when you're experiencing the exhibit hall, of course, you'll be learning about pre-removal Chickasaw history and culture. But part of the exhibit will be the Chickasaw people today, to be able to show a continuity through time and talk about contemporary culture, economic activities, and the vibrancy of the unconquered and unconquerable Chickasaw Nation in today's South Central Oklahoma. And so we want people to experience the Chickasaw Center here, but then we want them to look at going to visit Chickasaw Nation out in South Central Oklahoma, see the Chickasaw Cultural Center out there, see the Chickasaw White House, and all the other historical sites, and Baydra chocolates and other places to enjoy.
You know, because I think that there's so many, there are very prominent Chickasaw that we would not recognize as well, that, I mean, obviously to a certain extent have contributed to this, but, you know, just throughout our culture. I mean, this is an easy one to jump to, but I automatically think of the Love's Rest Stop, you know, Chickasaw family owned, right?
Yes.
I mean, so that it's important to kind of see those different layers, and not all those things are going to be featured here, but that this wasn't just a moment in time or a period in the past, but it is something ongoing.
Oh, absolutely. And another note, the first American in space was Chickasaw, Mr. John Harrington.
Really? Didn't realize that.
Yes, and so there's a lot of really interesting pieces of history that connect Chickasaw past and Chickasaw present.
Awesome. Well, what else do you want to show off while we're out here?
Well, Brad, anything else? You know, we're in the frame of phase 1 right now. Brad pointed out where phase 2 is going to be, and where the playground and the athletic field. It's a long walk over to where the village will be, but you know, just see the parking lot over. Really, you know, being able to experience and walk through the facility itself and be able to provide this tour to you and all the viewers. It's been a great experience, and really I think we've seen just about all there is to see at the moment.
Like I said, you mentioned how peaceful it is out here. You know, I hope our ancestors will be thinking about us and be blessing us with that.
Absolutely, because
because we are in the heart of downtown,
and that's just
so
ridiculous.
peaceful.
It is just quiet. It really is, and it's kind of hopefully a throwback to what they would have experienced and how they would want to pass that on to us nowadays.
We'll
I'm
have
sure.
some beautiful shots overlooking the Blackland Prairie. It'll be wonderful.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the heart of the Chickasaw homeland is here in what is today Tupelo, Mississippi. All major villages until after 1800 were you know, roughly in a 10 square mile area right here. Of course, after 1800, you had people moving to the Tennessee River area, Holly Springs area, and out. But all the historic villages really were right here. Just this site itself connected to a major historic Chickasaw site, and you know, with it being the heart of the Chickasaw homeland, it's only fitting that we put the Heritage Center right here.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I thank you all so much for allowing us to come out today and do this. I'll probably have a live broadcast as soon as my phone cools off enough. Coming up at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock here from the site of the Chickasaw Heritage Center. Again, in progress. Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
I just wanted to share one more thing. Thank you. Perhaps talking about ways to support the Chickasaw Heritage Center project right now. We do have a charter membership program. So for $250 and up, there's different levels that you can see on our website. You can become a charter member, and that at that level gives you a beautiful commemorative coin and a certificate. And you can, like I said, you can go online and learn more about the different levels of sponsorship. But of course, we gladly and graciously accept any amount that you'd want to contribute to join this journey with us and help us complete the center.
Absolutely. We will get that information. We'll tag that in this, because I think there'll be some people watching this after the fact as well. So we'll go ahead and try to tag that information there. We'll see if we can get that up for our 5 and 6 o'clock broadcast. But that kind of wraps it up here from live at the Chickasaw Heritage Center site, in progress here. Of course, really exciting. And do we have a completion? I completely glossed over my brain. The completion date. Open.
We'll be opening to the public. Expected opening is November of 2026. So
that's, I mean, very close.
Little more than a year
Trip
away.
guarantees it.
That's like the construction guy who is going to be shaking his head. That's okay. There you go. You heard it there. So again, about a year from now, I'm looking forward to it personally. I know that my kids and I, you know, we live next to the trace, so I recognize very often that some of the trees that we see today, you know, might have been planted by, you know.
Not only that, you know, I'm happy that you're as excited as you are, because you've been extremely instrumental to our success, hosting our luncheons for what 4 years,
4 or 5 years, yeah.
with us, and so we wouldn't want to have anyone else come with us and experience it.
Well,
So appreciate it.
I appreciate it because this is just something that's I just think is so cool. And we moved here, it was something that was just lacking, and now it isn't, and I think it'll be a draw, and it looks beautiful. I mean, even though it's concrete and metal, in my opinion, looks beautiful and nice to see it.
Well, we're just really excited that you've enjoyed this and that we have your support and we have the support of the community, and really it's really been a win-win for everyone. So we're real excited.
Awesome. Brady, thank you so much. Brad, thank you again. Thank you so much for coming out here and allowing us to do the trip.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We didn't knock anything down, so
No,
I think we're
we're
okay
good.
like that.
We're good.
Okay, so for Mississippi Live Weather, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon here. Of course, coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have probably a brief live look here from the site during our broadcast. And if you missed something, you have some questions, of course, we'll try to answer back and forth in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you coming up on Mississippi Live Weather live at 6 o'clock as we're looking, of course, the latest related to Aaron there. And this beautiful weather actually goes a notch better in the extended forecast. We'll have that for you coming up at 5 o'clock. See you then.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious when he began to discover weather. Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.